to the final episode of a podcast about something where each week for the past 3.5 years, we dove deep into whatever it is we find interesting. I'm your host, Kalvin, and joining me for the final time, your co-host, Nick Richardson.
It's the final countdown.
Yeah, it was better when we answered the phone like right away and did it, but whatever.
I mean, sometimes inspiration just hits you 3 times and you belt out it's the final countdown.
Can't get away with it 3 times in a row.
What happened?
So, we are doing something very special for our finale episode. We are creating a clips show, kind of like how sitcoms used to do. Some still do, I guess. But basically what we've done is we've taken a random 15-second clip from each of our first 150 episodes. Sorry, I had to move my mic. We got a total of 144 clips because there were some like 2-part episodes, 3-part episodes where I didn't get a clip from each one because obviously like that wouldn't be fun. Anyway, so we have a complete list of names of the episodes in front of us that are up for contention. And so we're going to play the clip and then we're both going to try and guess at what episode it is. We probably won't get through all 150 of them. So don't worry about that. We're just going to go for like 45, 50 minutes, see where that takes us, and then we'll stop at a good stopping point, like a 50, 75, 100 kind of stopping point, one of those solid numbers. So we're going to keep score as we go through this. We get a point for each correct guess, and we'll kind of maybe talk about our memories of the episode or if we even remember it or anything like that.
This is a long time.
Yeah. Well, and the first year you weren't there.
Right.
So you're going to have to really rely on context clues and episode names. And these are all randomized, completely randomized. I don't even know what order they're in. And then our list that we're looking at is in the correct order of what they're released. So that we got to kind of try and figure that out as we go. Whoever scores the most points here wins the A Podcast About Something cup. If you follow us at APA Something, I tweeted out a picture of that cup earlier, and I'll do it as I post this episode as well. Just so everybody can see that trophy because it's pretty sweet.
It's pretty fucking sick, man. I thought it was gonna literally be like a dollar store trophy with a podcast about something written on it. Nah. That is a legit trophy.
Yeah, I got it legit. Don't worry.
I immediately was.
I don't remember. I would shout out the company that I got it from. It was some online trophy company. Don't remember the name. I had to put it worked out because so there's the sticker in the middle, right? The podcast about something sticker. Behind that is like a little, just like a picture of a microphone. And so when I got it, I'm like, oh, I wonder if this sticker will fit. And because I was going to put it like on the back where there was nothing else. And then so I just tried it in that circle and it fit perfectly. So I was like, oh yeah, that's what we got to do.
That's money.
Nobody needs a generic ass microphone.
It's meant to happen.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's a little bittersweet. We've been talking about this for a few months. You and I have been talking about it longer of bringing the show to a good, clean close. We've been doing finale month where we first revisited the MCU, which was our first ever episode. We did a saying goodbye, selective listening, and the kind of franchise ending, movie superlatives. And so that, to me, the only way to end it was a clip show. What are some of your fondest memories from this show?
When we're off in the weeds, which is, I mean, there's probably 40 to 50 episodes with just a few minutes here or there where we're really off in the weeds, but we're stumbling on something,
Yeah.
And those are my fondest mememories because we really get going and make progress on an actual point.
Shows up.
Dude. And the other times are when I literally laugh harder. Mostly it's just the dumbest shit, but hey, that's what this is all. It's about having fun. I got to be serious at work and, as a dad and all this shit. You got to be serious all the time. This is not a serious time.
Absolutely not. Do not take, if this is the first episode you're ever listening to, don't go back and listen to more and take it seriously because it's not going to be that serious. There might be some serious things, but usually not. I agree with you when we kind of get off into the weeds. I liked it when I'd stumble upon a theory that I'd never thought of. And sometimes they make sense, and sometimes they're very stupid. Like Tyrese is going to go to space in Fast and Furious franchise and get his Green Lantern ring and become Jon Stewart.
It's fucking happening.
But at the same time, it's awesome.
Well, yeah. Those are amazing.
It's gonna happen.
Well, we usually punctuate it with, Call Me Disney or Warner Brothers or something like that.
Yeah, that's Warner.
Yeah, whenever we
Universal and Warner, they've got to come together on that one somehow.
Come together.
I think we can do it.
It's going to be a lot of singing by yours truly here. My raspy,
well, we got to get into it
voice.
soon. I wanted to do a clip show like this for two reasons. The first is that it harken back to, like I said, all the greatest sitcoms. You couldn't claim to have a great sitcom in like the 90s and early 2000s or 80s if you didn't have one of these clip shows in your episode lineup somewhere. Usually at like the 100th episode or the finale or close to the finale, you get these shows where they just show clips of the whole show. And that's really fun. So I thought this was a good way to close it out in the same way that those shows did. I love classic sitcoms. And so to me, it just kind of like brings that feeling. And the second reason is I thought it would be a really cool discovery tool for new listeners in the future. So like if you find a podcast, you're either listening to the first episode or the last episode is the first thing you're grabbing. So with this is going to be at the top of the list on your podcast app when you go to, like, if somebody finds this, a year from now, they're going to go, oh, what's this? They got 168 episodes. They must have done something right to have that many episodes. Let's check out this last episode and see what's up. It's a great way to get introduced to the whole show because you get these 15-second clips of 50 to 150 episodes that we've done. And, hopefully that makes you want to go back and listen to the full episodes if you like what you heard from the clips. It's kind of like, to me, discovering a new band, and you start out on their greatest hits album, right? You don't start with you might start with their first album, but you're never starting with somebody's third album. You either go first album or greatest hits. So this is the greatest hits of a podcast about something.
Right. Usually greatest hits, whatever music videos they have on YouTube.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah, and then you hit those up, which is usually their greatest hits or close to it.
And I can't claim that these clips are going to be all of our greatest hits, just because I haven't listened to most of them. I've listened to a couple to do testing and things like that, but I don't know which ones I've listened to. Like, I don't remember with the weird random naming generator I have. I have no idea what's what. But I literally randomly just grabbed 15 seconds. Like, I would open the file in Audacity, cut out like up to like 30 minutes and 12 seconds. And then I'd go to, and then I'd cut after 30 minutes and 27 seconds. And boom, there's my 15 seconds. No idea what it is. Don't know what was said. And it was different times for each episode. And I tried to stay away from like the first 10 minutes of every episode because that's when we're introducing things and we may not, either we'll just flat out say the episode name or like we might not actually be into the episode and talking about the topic yet. So I tried to get it somewhere in like that 15-minute to 45-minute range of each episode to really make sure we're in the meat of the episode.
Yeah, that's a solid way to go about it. I wonder, I'm curious how many times dicks are going to come up in a 15-second window over 144 episode clips.
All right, well, I've got the scoreboard. You got to keep track of how many dicks we talk about.
Let me get some note paper out. It's fucking on.
Oh, you don't have a spreadsheet ready for that? I've got spreadsheets.
Of course you would.
All right, do you have your episode list up?
I do.
All right, I've got mine up. We're going to play. We're getting it. You ready?
I'm fucking ready.
All right, we're going to keep score. You get a point for getting it right. No steals, whatever. We both just say our guess. We'll take turns saying our guess. But like you got to kind of be locked in. You can't steal my guess and I can't steal your guess, We're going to be on the honor system here.
No, nothing. I'm just going to steal every single one of yours.
All right.
We're
going clip number 1. With the Z on the top and it's got the point on the bottom. To me, Zed felt like he had better control over everything that was going on than Rita ever did.
Yeah.
And then,
well, he was
like the marriage to Rita in season 3. I hope that's easy.
Yeah, I think so. I just gotta find it on the list.
Yeah, I gotta make sure I'm checking these off as we go through them because process of elimination is gonna be huge. That was a podcast about Power Rangers. I'm gonna venture a guess.
Yeah, that was 100% a podcast about Power Rangers.
Podcast about Power Rangers. That was a fun one. We did 3 hours, over 3 hours on Power Rangers. Go back and check out episode 107 if you are a Power Rangers fan.
Oh man, that was brutal too because that was when I worked at Macy's, I think. So I
think you had moved on to the job you have now.
I can't remember.
107. What's that? 60 episodes ago. So that's
That's a year
4
plus.
weeks in a month. Yeah, it's about a year.
So
Yeah, a little over a year.
I was at my new job, so that's even worse because I got to get up at 4:30 in the morning. And
we were chugging though. We couldn't stop.
Oh man, we were killing it. That was a super fun episode.
Yeah, it was.
Wait. So before we go on, I gotta say this. Have you heard of the Power Rangers short that's like true to life, like hella violent and stuff?
No.
Oh man, it's so fucking cool. I discovered it today. I know this is really off a random.
Yeah, you're gonna have to send me a link on that.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, so let's go to number 2. Number 2.
That's really not that far when you think about it.
So then, once that didn't work, he sent basically frontal assault after frontal assault in waves of 10,000 men. After, again, there's only 7,000 on the other side that are rotating in and out as you go. Well, there's really down to... What do you think it is?
A podcast about Thermopylae.
Yep, that's what I'm going with too. Let's see. Get the score sheet. A podcast about the Battle of Thermopylae. All right.
All right.
2 for 2.
Right. Fucking on it.
Look at us. I didn't think I'd get any of these right. That was fun too.
That was one of our.
I mean, we're gonna say that for every
ones.
episode, but
that was one of our more serious ones. Which, when I first came on to the show, I was tackling like a little more. That was my kind of subjects, was a little more serious. Then I just started having fun with it.
Yeah, and like the Battle of Thermopylae was cool because like we kind of compared it to 300. I had read this book in college. Like I was assigned it. It was the most boring book in the world. For more on that, go listen to that episode. You'll hear plenty about how boring that book was.
Boring as fuck.
But yeah, it was kind of cool to revisit that and learn more of the history behind it than just what we saw in 300 and what I kind of half remembered from that college course.
Yeah.
All right. Track 3.
Damn. And that was the closest I've ever come to buying it. And my wife was with me at the time, so I was like, yeah, no, that's not gonna fucking fly. Hey, I'll come back in a couple weeks after I get my credit card.
Oh.
Ooh. I'm gonna guess.
Oh, I know what that is.
Podcast about collecting?
Yep, 100%.
Because that was like you wanted to buy that Funko or something that you searched all day for or something like that. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't remember. That sounds like me. We went to they had a Trunks Dragon Ball Z sword at this store I went to, and I was very tempted to fucking buy that. $150, man. That's a steal.
Yep, we both got it right again. 3 for 3. This was easier than I thought.
Oh man.
We talked about all of our collections and the things that we'd gone out and bought, and like I have this tremendous action figure and like I don't know, not props, but like just different things from all kinds of different worlds collection, and you have somewhat of a collection as well, and we just talked about, and you collect comics more so than anything, I guess, was the conversation there.
Yeah, I have a fuckload of comic books.
Yeah.
And action figures. I got 2 Detolfs. I need a third. I know you have like 6.
Yeah, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I need to get...
Calvin is flexing on me. Hard as fuck.
So I don't know if you remember, but I've got these 2 like big shelves hanging on the wall, and I've got Batman in one and Spider-Man in the other. I'm going to replace those with like, I think 5 more Detolfs, just because they take up so much wall space, and they have no depth to them, so I can't get a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah.
So I need to rearrange.
You do a bit of rearranging.
Yeah.
I know that feeling.
All right. We are on track 4.
4.
And he's trying to, defeat Galactus himself, so he's holding him off as best as he can, and then the Watcher shows up and just fucking wipes the floor with Galactus, and it's so dope. And I think we might get an introduction to Galactus in this.
Oh.
Ooh. It was something to do with the MCU. You get to guess first.
I'm honestly gonna guess a podcast about MCU movie superlatives.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's what I'm going to go with. I didn't remember that we did that. I was thinking about doing the, we did, what was it? Superhero team-up movies, superlatives. I was thinking maybe it was that, but I'm leaning more towards MCU now that I see that we actually did that. So I don't even remember half the time that we did stuff. Yep, that's it.
Oh,
1 point
yeah.
each.
Hell yeah.
It is neck and neck after 4 contests.
You just went with my answer. You
a little. Well, no, I literally. So I was scrolling up through the list, and I landed on that right as you were saying it.
Yeah, that's
and
exactly what
I was
happened
gonna
to me.
go with it.
My brain was just like, that's it.
Yeah, that's got to be it. We gave out. So movie superlatives is, if you're a new listener here, it was a monthly thing we did where we gave out made up awards to different types of movies. So for that month, we were giving out awards to MCU movies. And somehow we got talking about Galactus, and we must have been talking about maybe an upcoming Fantastic Four movie, possibly. I don't know. But yeah, so we give out all these made up awards, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a rabbit hole moment, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. When both of us go, no, like I'm gonna have to cut some major silence out of that part right there because we were just both just scrolling, like trying to figure it out. That's okay. Are we ready for number 5?
Yes.
It's a weird coincidence, too.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't go there looking out for anyone to pay for. Like, we were just taking him to a nice dinner, and it happened that we sat next to this drunk guy who decided to be nice. So thank you, drunk ex-NFL quarterback. That one's easy. That is a podcast about kindness.
Oh, that was not what I was going to go with.
Well, you got to say what you're going to go with now.
A podcast about life advice.
Your first wrong answer. Dun,
Fuck!
dun, dun.
I should have just been like, yeah,
Calvin
that's what
takes
I was
the
going with.
lead at number 5.
Number 5.
Yeah, I remember that. That was me and my friend took this kid out to dinner one time that we knew for his birthday, and like we were sitting there with this, like we were sitting outside at this restaurant, and we were just talking and going through stuff, and random drunk dude walks over, pays for our meal, slips this kid like $100 bill, and like tells us his story that he's some ex-NFL backup or some shit like that, and just like rambles on about how we should be nice to each other.
Oh, yeah, I remember that kid.
Yeah. So it fits right into kindness. So are we ready for number 6?
Let's do it.
What? That movie?
Yeah.
What about the IndyCar driver?
Oh,
he
yes.
was really good.
He
And then
was a great IndyCar driver.
And he was trying to get with Ed Helms' wife in a movie.
Yeah, he was trying to... he also tried to catch Moby Dick one time.
Okay, that's early on. That's an Eric appearance there. So that's going to be the first 17 or so episodes. You get the first guess here.
I'm going with a podcast about good, bad movies.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. So, somebody who was driving an Indy car with Ed Helms' wife. Ooh, both wrong.
Oh,
it
fuck.
was a podcast about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, our very first episode.
No shit.
Somehow we got off on a tangent into IndyCar driving with Ed Helms' wife. I have no idea how that happened.
It makes total sense.
I mean, that was December of 2017 we recorded that. I have no idea how we would have gotten there from the MCU conversation we were having. And then so we did, so that was our very first episode, and then we did another episode me and you did on the MCU a couple weeks ago to like bring it back for the start of finale month, to bring it back to the first episode. I don't think we got off on that tangent somehow.
Well, that also was not the sound of my voice.
No, that was the first co-host, Eric. So we're gonna have the first 16 episodes. It was me and Eric doing it, my friend that lives here, and then I switched to doing it. I'd have guests every week, different guests every week, and that went on until where did you came in January of 2019?
2018.
No, because I started. We did a podcast about 2018 movie superlatives. but it was January 2019 that you started.
Yes.
So that's episode 44 that you first came in. So there's between 16 and 44, there's 30 episodes where, you know, we're not going to know who the other voice is. And that could really throw us off.
Yeah, just a hair.
Well, no, the first 17 are Eric, or the first 16 are Eric, and then 17 through 43 are just random other podcasters. So I know Eric's voice, but I'm not going to remember all of their voices, so that will be interesting.
I hardly remember Eric's voice, just...
Oh no, through 19 is Eric. Ant-Man and the Wasp was Eric's last episode. All right, so number 7.
Number 7.
It was a really hard pick for me, but I gotta go with Blue Beetle.
That's a good pick. I like Blue Beetle.
Blue Beetle is fucking awesome, and it's before he became omnipotent and...
All right, I know this one, I think, because I saw it earlier, and I was thinking when we were doing the Galactus conversation, I was thinking that might have been this, but this is the Marvel versus DC that we did.
Yep.
I think
100%.
I gotta find it.
Well,
though.
95%.
Avengers versus the Justice League, yeah, episode 95. That's a point. That counts. I know what we were talking about.
That was the only one, because otherwise we weren't talking Flashpoint. We haven't talked a whole lot of DC.
No, that definitely wasn't Flashpoint. No, we did the Batman movie Superlatives where we had some DC action, but we didn't go real deep into DC that often. So if you're a huge DC fan, you're in the wrong place.
Ooh, sorry. Do you
There's
like
some
DC?
good stuff, but not a lot.
There's short bursts.
Yeah, some great Blue Beetle content right there, as you could tell.
I mean, fucking Blue Beetle is rad.
I love Blue Beetle.
My man.
All right, number 8.
This guy can do the same thing.
So
He's a little bit smaller, but he can do the same thing. Because they used to have Darren Sproles and all these other guys that they would put in just to catch the ball. Ingram
Kamara
can't
even start at Tennessee. I mean, it just tells you
All right, so that's another Eric episode. So that's early on, first 19. You could tell we're in a very echoey place. We were probably both yelling into a phone at that point. Oh, or we may have been sharing a microphone. Don't know. We went through a lot of steps to get to where we are now. A lot of those steps happened in those first 19 episodes, so they're going to be of varying quality whenever one of those pops up. I go first. I'm going to say that was NFL free agency, 2018 NFL free agency.
I was going to go with 2018 NFL playoffs.
Could be. Talking Alvin Kamara. Let's see what it is. I got to get on the right spreadsheet. Oh, both wrong. It's a podcast about football.
Fuck!
That was your chance to catch back up.
I
didn't even see that one. I was focused on 2018 playoffs, 2018 free agency, 2018 draft. Could have been any of those.
Could have been any single one.
But it was none of them. a lot of football talk in that those first 19 episodes. And then, so for the next year, for that whole 2018-2019 season, we were also doing a podcast about football where every week we would recap what was going on and make predictions for the next week. I don't believe those are in the feed anymore, just because I don't know anybody who's going to go back and randomly listen to be like, okay, what happened in week 6 of the 2018 football season?
I don't know. Some people might. I need to figure this shit out. Would they know?
If they had a really good week 6, they might want to go back.
Would they know?
I mean, if future people, when you all come upon this, thanks for listening in the future. Shout out 2025. And you all want that sweet 2018 football season content, let me know. I can always post it back.
It's like buying a cheap copy of Madden at GameStop for $4. You know, you get some fun
I just
out of
bought Madden 2007 for PS2.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And the reason I did is because they had the you could do the combine workouts in them. And that's really cool. So I bought 04, which is the one with Mike Vick on the cover where Mike Vick's way overpowered. And I thought that was the introduction of the combine workouts, but it's not. That was the mini camps, which is a little bit different than the combine stuff. So now I'll have both of them so I can do both things. The mini camps are cool. But the combine stuff was all. I like doing the 40. I was really good at doing the 40 where you just kind of flick the sticks.
I believe it, man. I was always terrible at it, so you're better than me. I know exactly what you're saying.
All right. Track 9. Why and how he was going to pull it off. Where did it lead? And the thought, so in the story, not terrified, but like thinking about the story afterwards, the thought of just slowly losing yourself to something that you...
Oh, man, that one's
I think you go first here.
Super tough.
I think I have an idea. You go first. Lock it in.
Oh no, what did I do?
You just destroyed the whole spreadsheet, didn't you?
I literally did. Oh.
Do you need me to send you a new one?
No, I got it.
Okay.
Undo button is my best friend. Okay. I had it. I was gonna go episode 47, a podcast about psychological experiments.
That's what I was thinking. We were talking to Kira, it sounded like. Let's see if we're right. We were both wrong.
Fuck!
128, podcast about scary stories.
That's really tough when it's just you talking.
Yeah, but it was the story you told, and I was like responding to that, I think. Yeah. There wasn't a lot of give and take there.
Yeah, I
wrote a great
that
episode
story too. That's fucking it's whack.
Yeah, it's whack 9. Whack 10, sorry.
You were on whack 45.
That's true. I don't have much that I can't say much about the scary stories episode because like that's one you just got to experience.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
If you enjoy scary stories, go listen to episode 128. You'll be scared.
Be terrified.
Hopefully.
Mean to him too. So I mean, that's where a lot of the humor comes in. He's just kind of a fucking dickhead, but he does help one kid, so I guess that's good. He learned his lesson. I mean, there was a bad Santa too.
This should be easy.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's my turn. It's the Christmas adjacent movie superlatives.
Yep, 137.
There it is. Boo.
So I got 5 and you got 6.
Let's see. We'll total up. After 10, I have 7 points, and you have 6 points. So 70% for me, 60% for you. That's pretty good. I thought we'd be shooting like 30%. Yeah.
I'll take fucking 60% all day.
Let's mark that one off.
It's like my high school career. So fucking lazy.
That was fun. We didn't do Christmas movies. We had done Christmas movies before, but that one was specifically movies that take place at Christmas but aren't like really Christmas movies. And you're talking Bad Santa there. We talked Harry Potter.
Die Hard.
Batman Returns. Yeah, all those things that like take place. And so I was kicking myself because I don't remember what I saw. It was like 2 months ago. I saw something that was Christmas adjacent. I was like, damn, this would have been a great movie to talk about.
Do tell.
Can't remember what it is now.
Yeah. Whenever you think of it, just text me.
Great story.
2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. I don't care. You let me know.
All right, track 11. Oh, that had a Sega Genesis that we'd go over there, just wear his Sega Genesis out, and then we had a family friend who their son was 3 years older than my brother, and they had a Super Nintendo, and he was never. All right, so I'll give you that. That one's gonna be hard. That was not.
28 old school video games?
Well, so there are 4 parts to the old school video games that were all separate. Like, they were all different episodes where we talked about different eras of video gaming.
Yeah.
So you're going with part 2. I'm going with part 3, I think it was, which is 37. And I have a leg up here because I know when the different eras were that we kind of went through them.
Fuck!
But I might be wrong. I'm thinking it was 3. But
I was actually going with the first one, I think.
The first one.
28.
Yeah, 28. Yeah, that would have been part 1. Okay, let's see. So you're going part 1, I'm going part 3. It is part 2. Stuck with the original.
Son of a bitch!
Because we were talking about Sega, So I was thinking,
Sega.
I'm trying to remember. So the first one we did, and this will probably come up as we continue to go through these, but the first one we did like arcade, Atari, up to Nintendo, Super Nintendo. So in the second one we must have done Sega. Maybe it must have been Super Nintendo and Sega, that kind of
that
realm.
flow.
Yeah, and then, well, no, because part 2, so part 2 must have been Sega through N64, PS1. And then part 3 was PS2, Xbox, and then part 4 was like PS3, Xbox 360 era, I believe.
Where's the Nintendo love here?
Nintendo has the most well-segmented eras. Because they have a console in every era that you can kind of track through time.
Yeah, except the Wii U. We don't track that for shit.
No, the Wii U doesn't count.
Hell no.
All right, let's do track 12.
I would not. It would have to be. It would have to be.
It would be me dragging you there.
It'd be you dragging me there for sure.
I'm kind of in the same boat as Jason is. That's the thing with Trolls. Like, I had zero. All right, there was a small. I was about to give it to you because there weren't any hints, so I was just gonna say let's skip that one. But there was a hint in there that you might be able to get this from. It is. I'll say it's a movie superlatives episode.
36 time travel movie superlatives.
And we were talking about Trolls. Do you want to change your guess?
Non-Disney animated.
Yeah,
movies?
that's it.
All right, cool.
Should give you half a point for it, but no, that
I
one's
get a full goddamn point.
Some of these ones that you weren't a part of, I'll meet you halfway on, kind of like we did there. Like I'm not gonna hold that against you.
Oh.
Especially because in that 15 seconds we barely said anything relating to the movies, and I knew that guy's voice as soon as he started talking. I was like, oh yeah, I know who that is.
2 voices I had never heard.
They are from the For Better or Worse podcast, which I don't believe is around anymore. I think they stopped a while ago. They were just a husband and wife where like one week he would pick a movie and she would watch it with him, and like they'd watch it together, and then they'd talk about it. And the next week she would pick a movie she likes and they'd watch it together and talk about it.
There's a lot of fellow podcasters that are not around anymore.
Well, yeah, and we might run up against that here. But I think their feed is still live. If anybody is interested in that content, they just, I don't think they're making new stuff anymore. All right, so let's go number 13.
Even what the hell is wrong with people that they need to stay there and continue to be like the game's over? Go home. Why are you still throwing popcorn at Jermaine O'Neal? What are you gaining from that in your life?
Oh, they probably rushed over there like, yeah.
Oh shit!
I know. What is wrong with people?
I hope that one's as easy for
so
you as it is
easy.
for me.
The
That's the Malice at the Palace.
Yep.
94.
100%. God, that was a fun episode, man.
Yeah. Episode 94, we talked about the Malice in the Palace from the Detroit/Indiana Pacers brawl. A lot of fun there.
Shit, I still remember watching that live. My dad's like,
And
"Oh
we had
fuck, he's going to the States."
And then we had a NBA All-Star play preview on the end of that episode too.
Hell yeah.
Which nobody gives a shit about the NBA All-Star game, but I do. I do.
It's fun. God damn it, it's fun.
I kind of like their new layout where they play quarter by quarter, and then the fourth quarter they got to get to that target. I kind of like that.
It's nice. Change of pace.
It's grown on me. Yeah. All right, track 14. Let's get it.
Well, I think we gave two pretty good examples, but when you try and go too far, it doesn't always work right, you know. But holy shit.
Oh man,
Alien and Aliens are two great movies, and both are great because.
I heard your voice on there, so you're definitely in it. It's got to be a movies superlatives episode, I would think.
Oh yeah.
I think we're gonna end up getting through about 30 of these.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's fine. We get through what we get through.
I'm having fun with this.
I think I got it, but I think it's your turn. So, but I'm locked in.
I'm trying to find the goddamn one I'm thinking of. I'm gonna go with slasher movie superlatives. Fuck!
That's part 2 movie superlatives.
Part 2 movie superlatives. Oh,
Yes,
it didn't even highlight that one for me.
Because it's spelled wrong.
Because you spelled it. That's a big hint. Fuck. God damn it.
I tried to give you the hint
sometimes. I'm very stupid.
All good. All right, now I've got a 2-point lead. You need to make a comeback here. This trophy's staying in my house.
I want that fucking trophy. God damn it.
If I can find, maybe I'll just make you one of your own. We made it through this. 2.5 years together doing this. You can get a trophy.
I don't want your goddamn participation trophy.
Yours will be a little smaller. It'll have a big 2 on it.
Number 2. Might be a little shit just hanging off the edge. I don't know. Maybe it'd be like, dude, this stinks like ass. I don't know why.
All right, so let's go to number 15 here.
Me to go put in an application on the website. I've already put in the application. Well,
Yeah,
just go in there and follow up. Tell them you put in the application. Okay, what's that gonna do?
Yeah, annoy them.
Yeah, they have a system.
You should call them every day.
Yeah, call them every day.
Yeah.
Why?
You got it?
I think I got it.
That's going to be episode 96, a podcast about jobs.
Yeah.
You didn't sound very sure of yourself. You changed your mind, didn't you?
No. I thought that was kind of a given.
Yeah, no, that one was pretty easy. We actually had a HR specialist on that episode as a guest who kind of walked us through the other side of job hunting, which was pretty cool.
That helped.
Yeah.
It was helpful. You should listen to that episode if you're looking for a job. Seriously.
Or if you're hiring for a job, because we talked about that a little bit too. Like, there's a lot of good information there, and there's a lot of us just bitching about the process, which is also always fun.
Remember him talking about working at Radio Shack?
Yes, he did work in a Radio Shack.
That made me fondly remember Radio Shack and overpaying for an Arduino board. I was pissed.
You get those for like $15 on Amazon.
Dude, I paid like $65 for that thing.
I still have one. I was at one point I was gonna try and learn how to program things on it, and like it just, I think when I got it was right when we were buying our house. My wife was pregnant. We were buying our house, and like so we bought the house and then moved. And by the time I got everything set up, the kid was here, and it was like, nope, no time now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have time for like 3 years.
I got through the first like 3 chapters of the book, so I could make the light blink at different timed increments. That was about it.
I still have that book.
I got it on Kindle, so I mean I definitely still have it.
Fucking Arduino.
All right, number 16.
Stories told, but those don't exist right now. Maybe they'll get to them, but like, I just don't get the joy they get out of review bombing and spreading hate about it. I mean, they're all just Sith in training, I guess. So, going into that movie and you bring that.
I think we got 2 options here. You guess first on this one.
You said Sith.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, we did a whole Star Wars month. But I think there's 2 that stand out here that it's got to be one or the other out of the 5 we did.
I think I'm going to go with 87.
Ooh.
A podcast about Anakin Skywalker.
I'm going with 86, Star Wars movie superlatives. Because I think we were talking Last Jedi right there. Let's see. Both wrong. Rise of Skywalker.
I'm surprised that whole episode wasn't me just bashing the fuck out of it. God, I hated that movie. So stupid.
I mean, it probably mostly was. We just didn't get that part in the 15 seconds. We got the 15 seconds of me being a beacon of hope there.
I saw that at like midnight on or Christmas Eve.
Yeah, it would have been Christmas. Yeah.
Christmas Eve, I went and saw that shit. I walked out of that so fucking mad. I remember trying to explain that to my wife, like, honey, I gotta go see this movie. I have to. It's for the podcast. It's Christmas Eve, Nick. Like, yeah, it is, and I'm very sorry.
Liked when this is completely tangential, but when The Force Awakens came out, we had just had my daughter, so like I wasn't going to movies at nighttime. Like it was a hard time trying to find when to go to movies.
Yeah.
And so I went at like 10 a.m. on a Sunday, And that was the greatest on opening weekend. That was the
awesome.
greatest fucking time to go. There were like 12 people in the theater, had a great seat, could see everything. It was a great movie. Really great experience there.
I was super pumped for The Force Awakens. And it was a solid movie. I enjoyed myself.
Yeah, The Force Awakens is still very good. But we're not talking Star Wars now.
Yeah. I mean, we were for a second.
Track 17. Let's see what we got.
Oh, I definitely still want to see it, because I mean, I love giant monster movies. Like, I'm gonna see it eventually, but
Monster movies are growing on me. It was, I hadn't always enjoyed them, but now lately I've been finding that there's no way you're going to get this.
I have an idea.
Okay, it's in the 20s. I'll tell you that.
I'm guessing 21.
Okay, no, you're wrong. I'm not going to count this against you, though. There's no way that you would have gotten that. It's 24, a podcast about Franken movies.
My second guess, goddamn.
Which was kind of a little bit of the genesis of movie superlatives. In that one, we took, I think we did like 3 different categories, and we took 2 different types of movies and mashed them together and tried to make a cohesive plot out of those 2 movies. And yeah, so that was kind of like the start of the ball rolling on movie superlatives in my mind.
Nice.
But we're not going to count that for anyone. We'll just pretend that one didn't happen. All right, number 18.
If the cops drive by.
Well, I mean, fuck, there's never a cop in these movies, and if they are, then you got a big sword,
They
Calvin.
get killed too, yeah.
You could, I mean, I picture Michael Myers with a giant sword, like a the Mountain, like a.
Oh.
We got Michael Myers, swords,
The Mountain.
the Mountain.
Did I say William
And
Wallace
cops.
too?
I think you said William Wallace, yeah.
Oh man.
I thought we were on Fast and Furious at first when we were talking about cops and stuff, but as it went further, I'm like, there's no way.
I think I got an idea.
I think I go first on this. I'm gonna go with Halloween movie superlatives. Episode 80.
I'm going with 127 slasher movie superlatives.
Yeah, ooh. Might catch up here. You got it.
Woo! Hell
27 slasher movies. Good guess.
I'm all
I
in.
didn't get that down that far on the list. I got to Halloween. I'm like, we're talking Michael Myers. It's got to be Halloween.
It's gotta be it. So we're talking swords, William Wallace. I'm there.
Obviously, there's some slashing going
100%. The
on.
hash
William Wallace,
slasher.
the Mountain, Michael Myers, and William Wallace.
Fucking out here slashing.
And cops.
I mean, they're slashing tires.
All right, let's go track 19.
Because he's taking the Green Goblin formula and it's driving him mad. Threatening Peter Parker and threatening his family. Like, he doesn't know what he's going to do, but he's still trying to play on the fact that they used to be friends. And there's some really touching scenes with, like, Harry and MJ and with Peter and Harry.
All right, yeah, you should be able to get this one, I would think. Look in the 20 to 35 range.
Oh, a podcast about Spider-Man.
Yeah. I think. Let me double check it. Yes, episode 30, podcast about Spider-Man with the FYMP cast. That was a lot of fun. That was my first Spider-Man episode, like full-on just Spider-Man episode. We talked about comics. We talked about like storylines. We talked about the movies. The Venom movie was about to come out, so there was a little bit of talk on that. That was a really cool episode to do because it was somebody who, like, I've always loved Spider-Man, but this dude had so much knowledge about Spider-Man and like his comic stories and everything like that. So it was really cool to like learn from him even more that I didn't know.
Oh, dude. I wish I could talk to you for the first time about Spider-Man comic line stories. I would go.
You weren't here yet.
It'd be going down.
All right. Track 20. We'll give a score update after this one.
Well, we got to bowling, and like I hadn't really moved on yet because like I was still interested in her, even though she had been boring. But I was like, okay, I had hung out with her a couple other times. The bad date girl. I had hung out with her a couple times, and
I got this one.
I mean, I know who and what I'm talking about in that story that I'm telling, but I have no idea what episode that is.
I'm going with a podcast about online dating.
Yeah, that's what I was going to go
34.
with. Where's that one?
34.
There it is, 34. Yeah, that's going to be my best guess. I don't know what other context I would tell that story in.
It sounds like a bad experience with online dating.
It was in-person dating, but yeah, that's it. 1 point each. Boom.
Boom, roasted.
No, that was a person that I knew and was going on a date with, and by the end of the night, I had gone home with who is now my wife because that date sucked so bad.
That's a great story, man. That's awesome.
Well, yeah, go back and listen to episode 34 and hear the whole story.
I'll have to, actually. I'm going to write that down. Very curious. Because that's
All right,
hilarious.
It's a good story. After 20, I have 13 points, and you have 12 points. So staying right there. I'm at 65%. You're still straight at 60%. So
all these percentages and shit at me. Fuck, man.
We'll go to 30, but I'm gonna start moving around the randomizer to get some different tracks in here. I guess I don't really know why I need to do that. They're all random, so it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna do that. So we're gonna do the next 10. Well, because then I gotta move around on my spreadsheet that has the answer key, and I've got to move around there's too many spreadsheets to do that. So we'll do 10 more.
How many spreadsheets do you have open right now, Calvin?
Just 2 for this, and then I think 2 more for work.
Only got 2 more, man. I swear.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll do 10 more. We'll get to an even 30 and see who's the winner at the end of that. And then if we're tied, we'll do a sudden death, and we'll just keep going until somebody gets it wrong.
I don't do well with those situations.
Well, let's see what we got.
You're like,
Are we ready for
Let's do it.
track 21?
21, baby.
Because usually, like, George R. R. Martin does a good job of, like, mixing the chapters of, like, all right, you're in the north for one, and then you're in the south for a few, and then you're in the east for a few, and then you get another north one. And there was just nothing from Bran for a while. There were a couple Theon chapters in there, but there's no...
I know this one.
You went first on that one, so this one's mine. I'm going to say 99, a podcast about the Crypts of Winterfell.
Going with 56.
Books
Game of
versus
Thrones
movies.
versus A Song of Ice and Fire.
Crypts of Winterfell.
Man, fuck!
Yes, taking the 2-point lead into the home stretch.
My wife's like, why are you yelling fuck every 30 seconds? Stop it.
Sorry, just losing.
I told her I was doing this, and she just kind of like... She didn't really say
Women just don't know how to have fun.
I don't do well with these, man. I'm terrible.
Look, you got time to catch up.
I'm on my way, dude. I'm gonna get you.
You also have to remember,
win this trophy.
I recorded every one of these episodes. I take very meticulous notes going into them, and then I edited every one of these episodes. And so, like, I don't think I remember them until I hear it, and then I'm like, boom, I know what it is.
Boom, roasted.
Yeah. I mean, I've still missed. I missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've missed 6, 7. So that's possible. So I think where it's hard for me is because we've covered the same thing several times, right? We've covered Spider-Man a few times. We did Spider-Man movies. We did just that one episode that was like all Spider-Man. We've done
talk about
15
Spider-Man
different iterations of
man.
MCU. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when we get to those, I talk about Fast and Furious on like every other episode. So like when we get to that one, it could be anything.
Unless it's Fast 10, your seatbelts.
It's coming. Theater near you. All right. We ready? 22.
Yeah.
You're right. You know, some of that blame lies on LeBron himself, but I think he's focused on getting the ball and trying to win the game.
Oh, yeah.
Rather than call a timeout because you can't
all
really
JR had
give
to do was put it back up.
that too.
If JR makes that play where he puts it back.
All right, that's an Eric. That's in the first 17.
Oh.
I go first here. Think again. You got 2 good options here for this one. But I think I know what it is. Do you know? You got it?
I got it.
All right, I'm going episode 17, the NBA offseason.
Yep.
Yep, that's it.
Nice.
LeBron kicks it out to JR. JR just needs to make the jump shot or take it to the basket, dribbles it out. Or no, he got the rebound on that free throw. That's what it was. And he dribbles it out because he thought they were winning. LeBron wanted to fucking kill him.
Literally looked like he wanted to kill him. He probably talked about that, like, pillow talk with his wife consisted of that for like 7-8 months afterwards.
Yeah.
He's like, baby, I love you so much. I can't believe fucking JR did.
I don't know that they'd won that series anyways, but taking that game 1 would have been huge for them.
Momentum is a hell of a thing in the NBA.
Yeah. And, well, so that could have been a podcast about basketball, but we talked much broader things in that one, so that's why I didn't think it was that. All right, so number 23.
Yeah. Kind of what I was saying. I was hoping for something else, but, you know how it goes.
So then we get a chorus. We already went through that.
Yes.
Rewind like 15 minutes. Yeah. Rewind 15 minutes if you want to hear what we think of the chorus.
So.
Oh God.
Man, that's obviously a selective listening.
Yeah. I go first here. You got which one you're gonna guess?
Yes.
I'm gonna go 109 selective listening. Hypnotize, the Notorious B.I.G.
I'm going with 125 Monster Mash.
Okay. Let's see.
Both
Hypnotize, Notorious B.I.G.
Fuck!
That might seal up the game for me.
Yeah.
That one.
I need to get every single one right.
Yeah, pretty much. You gotta get lucky and have me miss some. I think so. The reason I thought it was Notorious B.I.G. was because we were talking, like, the way we were talking, it seemed like it was the first time we had done it. We already did the chorus, go back and listen. Like, that to me struck as like this is the first time we were doing this.
That was a fun series, man. I enjoyed doing those.
Yeah. So the selective listening for anyone who's just discovering this is we would take a song. We did 8 of them, I want to say.
Was that many? I thought it was like 5 or 6.
No, it was 7 or 8 because we did we got 3 on here.
Hypnotize, Beck, Monster Mash.
We did a Christmas song, didn't we?
I don't think so.
Maybe not, because we didn't do Christmas month this last year.
My Heart Will Go On.
We did Rap God, My Heart Will Go On. I thought we did one more in there, but maybe not. Okay, so 5 or 6. Nick's probably right with 5. But that was, we would take a song, any random song that we thought would be fun, and we would just go line by line and try to interpret it to our best ability. Got that ass leaking.
Dude, I was dying with that. Monster Mash was a good one too.
Yeah, I think every song we picked worked out perfectly.
Pretty much, those were perfect.
Okay, 24.
Combined Mitchell Trubisky, Mark Sanchez, and Mike Glennon. But in this case, having Blake Bortles as a $19 million potential backup, I think you bring in Foles and you actually genuinely make them compete for the job. I mean,
that's a really bad take. I'm just gonna start off with that.
Yeah.
Looking back 3 years later, Nick Foles was not the answer for the Chicago Bears.
No.
You got it?
Yes.
Yeah. Episode 10, 2018 NFL Free Agency. Is that what you said? Oh! Yep.
Was it football, too?
No. Podcast about the Super Bowl. Wow.
How do you string Mitchell Trubisky, Nick goddamn Foles,
yeah, why are we talking
into
about
the
that?
Super Bowl?
Because that was a Super Bowl preview for whoever was in the 2018 Super Bowl. Probably the Patriots and somebody.
Yeah. The Broncos.
Wow.
16. That's fucking bullshit. I wrote that down on my paper, too, that I got that point.
Got it right. I did, too. I was like, oh, that's a point for sure. That's got to be NFL free agency. Nope. Eric fools us again with his hot takes about Nick Foles and Mitch Trubisky.
I could hardly understand him.
That's no excuse. You knew he was talking about Trubisky and Foles. We knew what was going on there.
Just because I have so much hate in my heart for those sons of bitches.
All right.
Speaking of Trubisky, I'm going to a Bears game.
Hey, we got Justin Fields. You're good.
No, it was either the 49ers game or the Ravens game. I'm going to the Ravens game in November, and I'm about to bring my Justin Fields jersey under my Trubisky jersey with a big ass sign that says "Out with the old." I'm gonna rip that shit off, in with the new.
Nice.
Look for me during that game, listeners. Ravens Bears, Sunday at noon, November 21st. You will see me in the stands ripping jerseys.
You should like pre-cut it down the
I'm
middle.
gonna rip that shit.
So you can do like the Hulk Hogan rip, not just like take it off. Like, so cut it a little bit, like just score it, and then so you can do like the Hulk Hogan rip. I don't think you have it in you to do a full Hulk Hogan rip without pre-ripping the shirt.
I'll rip that motherfucker easy. I'm swole, Kalvin. Swole!
All right, so let's do number 25. Nick's got catching up to do.
End of the original run of Ultimate Spider-Man was so heartbreaking, and he comes out with this new Spider-Man, and it's just like, I don't know, you just killed Spider-Man, killed Peter Parker, and he nails it absolutely.
I remember a lot of people had problems with it when it. That's throwing me for a loop here. I don't think I was in a hotel, because that sounded like I was in a hotel, and I don't think I was in a hotel when we did that. What I'm thinking of. But I don't know what else it would be. I was in a hotel for that one. You go first here. Don't go yet. I'm not locked in. I'm ready.
Trying to... I feel like I have it in the back of my mind. And I'm still going to get it goddamn wrong.
This is going to be the most cuts I'll ever have to make in an episode, I think, with all our long thinking times.
I mean, this is harder than I thought. I
Yeah.
want to say 44. But I don't think that would line up.
Ooh. Okay. Are you locked in with 44?
I'm locked in with 44.
Okay. Tell the listeners what it is.
That's 2018 Movie Superlatives Part Dos. And we were obviously talking about Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes, we definitely were. So there's three options here. It's that, which I didn't even consider. We did Spider-Man movie superlatives at one point, which it could be that. But I'm going with episode 124, superhero team-up movie superlatives. Because they teamed up into the Spider-Verse. I don't know if we'd have that conversation on that, though. But I really don't think it was Spider-Man movie superlatives.
I think we're talking Avengers mostly and team-ups.
Yeah. Spider-Man movie superlatives.
Fuck! That's it for me, bro. I'm fucking outskis.
You got 5 more.
Let's hit me.
You can't just give up.
I'm not giving up. I never give up. Like Spider-Man.
Number 26.
Fucking place. Because he played like the same 6 songs somewhere in his set every time. Always Mims, This Is Why I'm Hot, from like 06, and it's now 2012, and we're still hearing it. And the Stanky Leg was in there. Well, it's a good song.
Again, I know exactly what I'm talking about, but I have no idea the context of this.
I went to this mall up in Schaumburg, which is by Chicago, over the weekend.
Yeah, no worries.
And the hot sauce store I went to was like, This Is Why I'm Hot.
I mean, this is going to be a complete guess. Oh, I think I might have a line on it.
Which one's Nelly?
Wait, I don't think I didn't get that far on them because it's only ones I didn't have any of the ones we did this year in 2021. There's a couple options here. I know what I'm going with. Look towards the end. There might be one there.
I lost it on my list. I'm going 131 Rap Beefs Part 2.
Interesting. There's a couple this one could be. That's definitely up there. It could be Rap Beefs Part 1, which I don't know where that is. I'm going way earlier. It could be Top 10 Rap Albums. Not going with that either. I'm going episode 48, a podcast about the Notorious B.I.G. I think there's a pathway to get from discussing that to this DJ who would always play Mims, This Is Why I'm Hot, and the Stanky Leg, because I remember one time I had this friend in town, and we were out at this bar that had this DJ that would always play This Is Why I'm Hot in the Stanky Leg, and he also played Hypnotize that night. So I'm thinking that we were talking about all the things at the same time.
Let's go.
Let's see. What did you say, Rat Beefs Part 2?
Yes.
Selective Listening Monster Mash. What? I gotta listen to that again. Hold on.
Because he played like the same 6 songs somewhere in set every time. Always Mims, This Is Why I'm Hot from like 06, and it's now 2012, and we're still hearing it.
That shit
The
was so
Stanky Leg
popular.
was
What
in
are you
there.
talking about?
Well, it's a good song.
How did we get there in Monster Mash?
I have no fucking idea, because we hear it all the time, every Christmas.
Every Halloween. Yeah, I mean...
Halloween, yeah, whatever.
I
heard it on Christmas a lot as a kid.
I don't know how that happened, but that was episode 125, Selective Listening Monster Mash.
I'm still disappointed we haven't talked about Wiener even once.
The dick count is at 0.
Non-inclusive podcast here. Tell you what. This is bullshit.
Let's go to number 27. I can't believe that. Still have time to catch up. You gotta start getting some right though.
I haven't gotten like hardly any.
How do you account for subscription services, right? Marvel Unlimited, DC Unlimited, or DC Ultimate, or DC Universe, where
Whatever it is this week.
you just have access because you pay your $8 a month.
See, my problem is finding them.
Control F. I go first here, right? No, I went first. No. Yeah, no, it's my turn to go first. Are you ready?
Yes.
I'm going to go with episode 124, Superhero Team-Up Movie Superlatives.
Yeah, that's kind of what I fucking had. That's also what I had.
Okay. I know how we got here. That's episode 148, a podcast about gate scandals. We must have been talking about Comicsgate.
Son of a bitch. 15 seconds is really hard. We talk about a lot of shit, man. We have, over the past few years, a lot of shit.
So that was an episode where we talked about all the different scandals that end with Gate for whatever reason, except Watergate. We didn't talk about Watergate, really.
It's too easy.
And we just found a couple different scandals and talked about them. Comicsgate was one of those, and that's how we got into talking about whatever DC's flavor of the month subscription services at this point. Which I think is just Comixology at this point.
I'm still getting like 50 emails a week about my DC titles transferring. It's like, dude, fuck off with this.
This was like 2 months ago where I finally unsubscribed from DC Universe because so I subscribed in the beginning to watch Titans and what's the other one?
Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol, thank you. So I subscribed because it wasn't on HBO Max or anything like that at the time. So I was like, okay, I'll subscribe to this. And you got all the comics in the same service. So I was like, oh, great. I read, Flashpoint again. I read Dark Knight Metals. I read Crisis on Infinite Earth. So I could really catch up on some backlog stuff of DC Comics. And I fucking hate DC Comics. But that's neither here nor there.
They're just not that good.
And then all the shows got moved to HBO Max, which I was already subscribed to through my TV provider. And I just kept that shit paying for months, thinking, I'll go read the comics. No, never did.
They're not good.
They're not good.
They're not good.
There's too much lore behind DC Comics.
Always.
All right, we got 3 more. Nick, you need to get all these right. I need to get all of them wrong in order for you to catch up and go to sudden death. Here we go.
That's for best player.
I got the amazing, the all-talented, the absolutely jacked Boobie Miles from Friday Night Lights.
Great pick. Great pick.
Dude is a transcendent talent. I mean,
absolutely.
That one I would hope would be easy. It is.
103. 2020 fictional NFL draft.
I think it's 83 football movie superlatives. Because right there at the beginning, I said, who do you have for best player? That's the ball game. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. We're still going to finish out the next two, but just let everyone know I won. Okay?
I'm not sending you this trophy I paid $38 for.
This trophy is sitting on my shelf forever. It was like $15. I wouldn't pay that much. If I was going to pay $38, I would go up to the 125 and just get the championship belt. But I already have one of those for fantasy football, so.
Nice. So awesome. Oh, shit, man. My wife would fucking kick me right in the dick if I was like, hey, honey, I bought this belt. She's like, yeah, did you need a new one? No.
Not that belt. Well, you got to win it, Nick.
I'm not a good winner. I'm not good under pressure. Even though I looked at all this shit a bunch.
You should have just been listening to episodes for the past. Taking snapshots of 15 seconds in your head. All right, let's go number 29. We got two more. Finish it out.
Plastic bags that were washing up on the beach in Baja. So it can make a difference. But yeah, it is one small part of the entire plastic spectrum. And plastic never degrades or never biodegrades. It just degrades, which means it breaks up into smaller.
All right, that one's in the 20s. And it's named wrong. So let's skip that one. We'll do two more. That was a podcast about sustainability. But on the line, it's episode 26. It just says a podcast about something with who the guest was. I don't remember her name. Kiss That World is her podcast. But yeah, the name's wrong, so you would have never figured it out.
Damn it.
Maybe you would have, but yeah, that one wasn't fair. So we got two more.
No dishwasher, and so we had to wash all these fucking bottles by hand. And there's this one brand, it's like Dr. something.
Yeah.
Do not buy those, people. They're like real long, stupid fucking bottles. Yep. They're 8 pieces, and they're junk.
I think I know what that is. You got it?
Exactly what. Hold on, I'm control Fing.
Yeah.
133.
Fatherhood. Podcast about fatherhood. 133. Let's see if we are right. Yes. Ding, 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 ding.
I'll remember those bottles forever because I fucking hated them. God, they were terrible.
All right.
I literally threw all those into a roaring trash can.
Yeah, we tried to impart our wisdom on other fathers in that episode. So if you're a father or soon to be father, go back and listen to that. There's some good stuff in there. That's episode 133. All right, this is the last one. Can I get a drum roll? Weak ass drum roll.
I have surgically repaired hands.
Captain America catches Thanos' glove, they digitally removed Power Stones.
The stones,
so that,
yeah.
Yeah, so you wouldn't know that he had that many. And I'm like, well, why the hell even put it in the trailer?
Right.
But no,
Ooh.
I think I know this one.
We had a guest, clearly.
I'm blocked in.
I'm not even close, man. Because that was one that we're talking about Thor Ragnarok. We were already doing our thing by Thor Ragnarok. So I had to be another guest on there. Yes?
I thought we were talking about a different movie.
Well, they were talking about the Infinity War trailer at first, but then he, at the very end, whoever that person was, mentioned Thor Ragnarok.
That's a tough one.
It is. I don't even know whose voice that. I don't remember that voice at all.
I don't miss many. That would have to be super early in our tenure. Because my daughter wasn't born yet.
I seriously have no idea who that is. I apologize if you're listening, whoever that was on that
I have
episode.
Zero fucking
I have
clue.
no idea who you were. All right, you're going with 60?
That's just to have a guess of some sort. Get some
You're going
credit, maybe.
60 Avengers Endgame. I think it might have been one of our movies, because remember how every once in a while we'd do the movie superlatives, and we would have other people send in their like they would make picks, right?
Oh yeah.
I think it's probably one of those. I just got to figure out which one.
Still sticking with 60.
All right, I'm gonna go with 141 future movie superlatives. So you're going 60 Avengers Endgame. I am going 141 future movie superlatives, and it is 27 crazy hypotheticals. Which, like, I get it. That sounds like it's that episode, and now I remember those guys. They're from the Don't Crack podcast. I don't know that they're active anymore either. But I don't really know how we got into Avengers by going crazy hypotheticals.
I don't either.
We thought of all these different like hypothetical situations, and we kind of like we tested each other. So like somebody would bring something, and then you'd have to give it a limitation, and you'd have to choose whether you would do it and accept the limitation or not. It was kind of fun.
Yeah, that sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah. So that was episode 27. And that wasn't for me. I didn't know it.
Yeah, I had no fucking idea.
So let's go to Twitter real quick. I asked on Twitter, I shared our trophy earlier and said if you share any of your favorite moments or just anything about the podcast, share them below and we'll read them on the show. So we got a couple comments. I'll read them out real quick. The Mixed Media Forest podcast at Media Forest Cast on Twitter just said the end of a legacy, trophies up, emojis. Gareth's Random Ramblings at GRR Pod said have a great show. I think we did. We did that. And then somebody at the Alone_podcast just said surprisingly cool trophy. Like, come on. It's a fucking sweet trophy.
It was a dope ass trophy.
I don't know who that guy is, but he didn't know a good trophy.
I found that GIF and then
That's a GIF. It's a GIF.
I found that GIF and I rewatched it like 7 times. And then the full YouTube video.
The Alex Jones one.
It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my fucking life. I'm tired of being socially. It's not funny.
Well, I mean, if you want more on Alex Jones, we did a whole podcast, episode 90, on crazy conspiracy theories. We talked Alex Jones in there.
We got down on Alex Jones because he's fucking dumb.
He's talking about the frogs were being gay or something like that. Yeah.
They had a gay bomb and
That's right,
they're turning the
frog.
frickin' frogs gay, and then he beats the death.
So thank you to those 2 people who reached out on Twitter. You can still follow us on Twitter if you feel like it. That's not going to be very active, but it's at APA something and at Alone. Or your Twitter should still be active for your podcast. You Are All Alone. That's at Alone_podcast. So you can follow Nick there. If you want to follow me and get like my actual thoughts, follow my new show at Magic 3 TV Pod on Twitter. There will be a lot of stuff there, and we'll talk about that more in a minute. Let's kind of close out this episode. So the final score, Kalvin with 18 out of 30, and Nick with 14 out of 30. So almost got to 50% there, Nick.
To be expected.
Yeah. I mean, there were some tough ones. We were on a string of neither of us knowing, like 4 in a row.
There was some fucking tough ones, dude.
Yeah,
15 seconds is hard.
15 seconds is hard, but I didn't want it to be like 30 seconds, because if it was 30 seconds, we'd have gotten, 15 clips in? That wouldn't have been fun. I think the listeners got a good sense of the variety. If this is the first thing you're listening to, hopefully you got a good sense of the variety. I mean, we have 168 episodes on 168 different topics that we always approach in a fun way. Maybe sometimes we hit on a few of the same ideas, but we talk about them in a different and exciting way every time. So there's a lot of great stuff. If you enjoyed anything that you heard here, go back and listen to more stuff. That you can send us DMs on Twitter if you like the show and need us to come back. We'll come back if people are begging for it. You know, when we get big in Lithuania over the next 2 years, you know, we might come back for it with Lithuanian fans.
We'll drop a Lithuanian movie superlatives episode.
Yeah. I mean,
you're like, yeah, no.
I don't know that we'll do that because I haven't seen any Lithuanian movies.
I haven't even heard of
that would be pretty difficult.
What is Lithuania?
So yeah, I take home the trophy. I keep the trophy. Good for me.
Fucker.
Nick, I'll send you the smaller participation trophy in a few weeks.
Nice.
Just tell me your address.
It's beep, beep, beep.
This has been great. The last 3.5 years have been so much fun. I appreciate every guest that's ever been on the show. I appreciate Nick. I appreciate Eric and everyone who has helped make this show possible. All, 15 of the listeners that we've had over these 3 years. Thank you so much. No, it's way more than that. And I've
17.
Yeah, it's at least 17. I've changed hosts too many times now that I don't have a real record of how many downloads we've actually had. But I think we've hit the 10,000 number twice at least.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool.
I'll take that shit.
Yeah, that's good. So again, just thank you for listening. If you want more from this show, go back and listen to what's already there. And the feed is not dying. It's going to be here. It's always going to be there. It's on a free hosting site. So you can always listen. And if we feel like it, we can make a comeback. If we got something we just need to talk about, we'll be back if we need to.
There might be. You never know. So stay tuned.
So the last thing before we sign off for the final time is, what is one topic that we didn't get to that you wish we would have? Now you got to pick one.
Honestly, depression. More of a heavier
mental
subject.
Health depression, or the Great Depression?
Mental health depression.
Yeah.
I think that would have been an interesting subject to pick apart with you.
So, yeah, it definitely would have been. And I have a hard time with stuff like that because, I'm in no position to diagnose anyone or give anyone, assistance. One of my greatest coping skills with my own social anxiety is I had kids, and, that's not a good coping skill to teach people. You suffer from anxiety? Have kids. That'll help. Don't do that. They are. But the reason it's helped me is because, if I go into a store in the past and I was trying to get something for myself, and I couldn't find it, I'd just be like, fuck it, I'm not getting it. And I'd walk out. But, when my kids need something and I can't find it, I have to talk to somebody in the store. They need that thing. I have to go get it. So, that has helped me break those barriers a little bit in my own mind.
Right.
But, yeah, I like that. I can't tell people just, hey, go have kids. I feel like that's an unhealthy piece of advice to give. So that's why I don't want to go fully into that stuff because I don't know enough about it to I know my own experiences and your own experiences, but every person who battles this has a different experience, and it's hard to give one flat answer of well, you can do this, or here's how it affects you, because it affects everyone differently.
It's not even necessarily advice I'm looking to give, just more so talking about experiences.
Yeah.
And in the sense that it's listen, you can broadly just give boundaries, because a lot of people, something I found with one of my best friends who really struggled with it because his dad just did not understand it at all, was really conceptualizing it in a way that made some sort of sense. While you didn't need to intimately understand what the fuck it was, you could at least sort of look at the bigger picture instead of such a closed-minded view about it. And that's kind of what I was looking for.
Right, kind of get that destigmatize it a little bit. Just have an open conversation about where it comes from. Have we dealt with it? Those things. That could have been interesting.
Right, just a conversation from two people that have kind of dealt with that shit.
We would we would have to be very careful with it too, to not make it worse in somehow,
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that could have been cool. I think for me, I wanted to do more of the villains episodes. We did the TV villains that one time. That was episode 130. We talked about different TV villains, and we ranked them and scored them and tried to figure out who the best TV villain is. It's the guy from season 1 Fargo, Billy Bob Thornton's character. He was the best ever. We came to the conclusion, I think. He got the highest score. But yeah, we talked about 6 different villains, 6 to 8 different villains, and gave them each a score based on these different factors. I wanted to do more of those. I had ideas for Harry Potter villains and MCU villains.
There's a lot of good villains out there.
Yeah, Batman villains, Spider-Man villains. just all these different types of villains in different mediums. And I thought that would that was another series that I kind of wanted to try and get back to, and we didn't, and that's fine.
We had a lot of subjects we wanted to cover.
Yeah.
A shitload.
And we covered a lot of them, We covered 168 different subjects.
Yeah. I mean, we covered an asinine amount of subjects, more than I thought we would when I first started this show.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I thought like starting it, we would kind of fall into these patterns of subjects that we cover and keep coming back to the things. And that was one of the things starting the show I never wanted to do, is just be like, okay, what movie came out this week? Well, we'll talk about that. Or what cool thing is happening in pop culture. I don't want to talk about those things because there's a million other people talking about those. I want to talk about things that don't get as much shine as other things, and things that I can learn from, you know, rather than, okay, Game of Thrones is the hottest TV show right now, let's just talk about that every week, which we also did some of.
Well, we always did that as like supplemental stuff, you know, extra episodes on the side. That, man, there was some times we were recording for 2.5, 3 hours a night with those extra episodes.
Yeah,
that was rough.
And the good news is I'm backing up all my outlines on an external hard drive, so they'll be there forever. When we need to come back to it, boom, we've got outlines, we've got ideas. It's all ready to start back up at any time if we feel the need.
I printed that shit out. I got them in a fucking giant...
You 90?
I mean, yeah, sort of. 28 going on 90.
Get yourself a Google Drive, Nick.
I have one. I just don't want to pay for extra storage. It's 6.
Well, I've got to stop paying for extra storage on this one and pay for extra storage on the new show. So I'm just going to back everything up to an external hard drive. I've got 9 of them, so I should be good there.
Like your 9 laptops?
Yeah,
yes, man.
Well, exactly. You have an external hard drive for each laptop. That's how it works.
You know, I like your style, Kalvin. I need to get to where you're at.
Just fucking collect computers. They all don't work very good, but that's okay. They're there.
Like, dude, can I come back to the show? Because I got those 9 that you were talking about. Like, please?
Thank you to everyone for listening. It's been a wild ride. I appreciate it. I am not leaving the podcasting game, and neither is Nick. I am moving to a new show that I'll be doing with my friend Chris. The show is already up. You can listen to some preliminary stuff. We are starting with our first real episode in 2 weeks. And what we're doing, it's called The Magic Number is 3 when it comes to TV. You can search that on your favorite podcast app. You'll find it right now. Or you can just search The Magic Number is 3. Either way, you'll find it. And what we're doing is we're going to do watch and recaps of different season 3s of different TV shows. We're starting with Breaking Bad. That is our first episode that we're doing, or our first show that we're covering season 3 of, because in our minds, season 3 makes or breaks a show. And I think in the case of Breaking Bad, I think we're going to find out that it definitely made the show of Breaking Bad. Like, that was kind of that turning point. And so we're going to cover... Yeah, we're going to cover season 3 of Breaking Bad, so show up there in 2 weeks and listen to that. If you liked any of this, we're going to be starting with Breaking Bad and going from there. After we do 10 episodes of Breaking Bad, we're going to move to another show and see what season 3 brings us from a different show.
It's about to be sick. I'm looking forward to your new show, man.
It will be there. Nick, tell listeners about what you got going on.
I got You Are All Alone going on, just like I always do. I'm going to keep that show going for a long time. Epic sci-fi. Sword and sorcery. Nah, not sorcery, but there's swords. It's dope. Check it out. We just dropped a new compilation episode with the first 9 episodes. So if you like binging stuff, that's for you.
Yeah, it's like that compilation episode. It's basically more or less listening to an audiobook of the first, 40 chapters, did you say?
9 chapters.
Oh, first 9 chapters. So not quite 40. But you can just keep listening after that, and you'll hear the rest of them.
You can. We're at 44 with some supplemental episodes, and that first little compilation episode is 2.5 hours long, so more to come.
So on your next long drive, pop that bad boy in.
Which will be where it's at.
And you can follow Nick on Twitter at alone_podcast. You can follow me at APA something, but if you really want the great content that I provide, it's at Magic3TV Pod on Twitter. That's where all my cool thoughts will be from now until that show ends, whenever that'll be.
Till the end of time.
Maybe. I mean, we get some of that Spotify money then. Yeah, sure, of course.
You're like, I will do that shit literally until I die.
Pay me. I just have to watch an episode of TV every week? Sure, I can do that.
Fucking pay me.
I've got a lot of other great spin-off ideas too, so I mean, there's a lot of things we can do.
You are an idea, man.
Spotify, if you need you want to throw $6 million at somebody, I got 7 ideas I can have up and running tomorrow.
I'll give you 60 ideas for $6 million. I may not like them all, but...
Well, yeah, I can give you as many as you want. So that is our final episode. Thank you for tuning in. Keep listening. There's a lot of fun stuff in the backlog. And all the music for a podcast about something was always provided by those cats.
You gotta stay sassy.
Stay classy.
Start? I don't feel so good.
You're all right.
I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. I don't want to go. I don't want to go, sir. Please. Please, I don't want to go. I don't want to go.